People say that print on demand is oversaturated. Now, you can believe that if you want, but the truth is, if your designs are bad, you're never going to stand out in the market. You're never going to sell. Now, I've done $1.2 million in Shopify print on demand sales this past year selling graphic t-shirts. And today I'm already up to 3,300 in Shopify sales in this exact market that people say is oversaturated. And I'm able to stand out because I use ChatGPT to outthink 99% of other sellers. Not by using it to generate cookie cutter designs, but by using it to understand my audience better than they understand themselves. Now, in this video, I'll show you how to uncover the emotional drivers behind your audience so that you can use that insight to create designs that connect and, more importantly, that convert into sales like this. Now, let me take you back a second. When I started print on demand back in 2020, ChatGPT didn't exist. In fact, AI wasn't even a part of the conversation at that point. I was doing everything manually. I was scraping through Etsy listings, digging into Amazon reviews. I was Googling for hours trying to find other brands that were similar to the ones that I wanted to build. And I was analyzing what everybody else was doing. Now, that kind of research definitely helped, but I still felt like I was guessing. I didn't really know my customer, at least not like I do now. I didn't quite understand their humor, what triggered them emotionally, or what they actually cared about. And that's why my early designs were honestly hit or miss. It was kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall. And that's also why I've had so much more success with my current brand, because I'm designing designs that my niche actually wants. Now, fast forward to today, my process looks completely different from what I was doing back in 2020. Now, I still do research, but now I use ChatGPT to go way deeper than any marketplace search ever could. And I'm not using it to just generate generic t-shirt slogans. I'm using it to dig into my buyer's psychology. I'm talking about what they believe in, what frustrates them, what they celebrate, and what they feel proud to wear. This is the stuff that makes a design hit an emotional level. And that's exactly what 99% of sellers completely miss. Now, to show you exactly how I go through this process, I created an Excalibur board that maps out every single step of the system, from prompting ChatGPT to breaking down the audience's emotions. Now, let's head over there so that I can actually walk you through it. And if you want a copy of this full board with all the prompts and examples and the framework that I use, you can grab it for free by joining my school community. That's linked in the description below. Inside my school community, you'll get instant access to this board plus 51 hours of free Shopify print-on-demand course content and a vault of bonus tools and resources to help make your print-on-demand journey just a little bit easier. All right, now let's take a look at the board. This is the exact system that I use when I want to understand a niche at the level most sellers will absolutely never think about. I break my research down into 9 distinct buckets. This helps me build a complete, emotionally rich customer profile. The first bucket being core demographics. I'm looking at the age, the gender split, the income that people in this niche make, their education level, if they have a political lean to one side or the other. The next bucket being daily life and routine. I'll look at their hobbies, their rituals. What do they do on the weekday versus the weekend? Do they use any specific pieces of technology? And what does their outdoor time look like? 3, I'll look at animals and archetypes, meaning symbolic creatures, mythos, spiritual symbols that they may use in this niche. 4 being geographic insights. So are there certain state clusters, zip code clusters, urban versus rural living? Are there any climate traits that I should be made aware of? Because if I'm selling, hoodies for people that live primarily near the equator, I'm probably not going to sell a lot of those. The 5th bucket, cross-niche passions. Are there any overlapping interests or hybrid communities that I could potentially tap into with my designs? 6, language and slang. Are there any catchphrases, memes that connect with this group, idioms, or even emojis that they use often? 7, being work-life snapshot. What kind of job types do they use? Are there any specific pain points that people in this niche face? What does the work culture look like? And are there any time constraints that this niche could potentially have? Bucket number 8 is food and drinks. What are their favorite snacks, their cultural meals? Do they have any drink rituals? And finally, 9, values and emotional drivers. What are these people's deep beliefs, their aspirations, their identity cues, and their emotional triggers? When you do this level of research, you stop designing from just your own bias and you start designing only for the customer based off of real insight. And that, I think, is the biggest key that new sellers need to overcome. A lot of times when you're new to the space, we only know what we like, and we will design something that we like that we also think the niche may also like. But a lot of times that's just us designing in the blind. So by breaking it up into these 9 specific buckets, we are able to get so granular of knowing about our niche that you're going to end up knowing them better than they know themselves. So let's walk through this using the astrology niche as an example. Now, as you can see, I gave ChatGPT a prompt structured around those 9 different buckets. Now, I did this by using ChatGPT 03 for deeper, more contextual outputs, rather than the standard 4.0 that ChatGPT initially prompts you to use. Now, here is what I got. You'll see that the age is around 18 to 40-year-olds. It's a 70% female market, and they tend to lean socially liberal. Their daily rituals could be moon phase journaling, tarot cards, horoscope apps that they potentially start their day by using. Symbols would be the phoenix for rebirth, the owl for intuition, and the serpent for transformation. So those are all animals that we could potentially bring into our designs. Now, geographically speaking, a lot of people in this niche live in California, Oregon, Colorado, New York. Could we tailor designs to those specific states? Their culture, they tend to like to drink kombucha. They frequent vegan cafes, moon feasts, and enjoy herbal teas. Now, some slang that may be used is Mercury in retrograde, big 3, and even some emojis. Now, the emojis I may not use necessarily in a design, but those emojis will definitely help us when we go to market our designs using Facebook ads. If you've gone through my training in my free school community, you'll see that we use emojis in all of our ads. So that is definitely a great thing that we can continue to use through the entire process. Now, jobs, they like to be in the creative fields. Some are in retail, wellness practitioners, and some people even have remote roles. So are there certain things that we could potentially tap into there? Now, pain points for this demographic would be burnout, quarter life crisis, feeling like they have a lack of purpose. So those are some emotions that we could potentially tap into with our designs. They value self-discovery, spiritual growth, and cosmic belonging. Now, I don't have to tell you how much this is just pure gold. This is how you make designs that truly feel personal, like you are connecting with that person better than any other brand has ever connected with them before. So after I get my nice, beautiful table, I asked ChatGPT to turn that profile into design concepts. Now, the actual prompt that I used was using the US Astrology Enthusiast Buyer Profile one-page cheat sheet. Can you come up with creative ideas that can make t-shirt designs about this niche? And ChatGPT delivered a full table with titles, visual concepts, and even the tone, and all emotionally aligning to this niche. I then added real-world inspiration. I just quickly went to Etsy and found very similar styles that are popular within this niche. And I asked ChatGPT to basically take these design inspirations, these styles, which is amazing because it's not like we are just completely copying a design. I said, let's use these very common styles across the niche and then take the first concept that you gave us in that table and make me a design. And what it created wasn't a copy. It was a totally original, emotionally rich, audience-specific design idea, ready for you to now throw onto Printify, connect to either your Shopify store or even Etsy, and start testing. Now, this type of research is complete gold. You can simply rinse and repeat this entire process to create hundreds of high quality concepts that speak directly to your customer and rise above all the other generic, just AI clutter that everybody else is making. So if you want to grab this Excalibur board, click the link in the description below and join my free school community. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It would absolutely mean the world to me. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video.